Hi guys, it's Phoebe, and I just finished a book I was reading, and it took me like 2 days to read it, and I read it in such a short amount of time, and it's amazing. It gave me so many feelings, and I really wanted to do a review on it. It is the second book in a series by Marissa Meyer. It is Scarlet, the second book in the Lunar Chronicles series by Marissa Meyer. This book is amazing, and I can't believe I was so reluctant to read the series beforehand. I'd heard a lot of good reviews on it. I wasn't really into reading so many dystopian series and wasn't really getting into it, but Cinder was amazing, and then I went to the library and got Scarlet, and Scarlet is even more amazing than Cinder. 5 out of 5 stars. Read it. You read it. Cinder, the book, is basically a new take on Cinderella, and Marissa Meyer has written it in a way that Cinder is a cyborg, and she goes on all these sort of things, and it sort of follows the same story as Cinderella. Like, she does live with 3 ugly stepsisters and an ugly stepmother, and you know, she finds this prince and they go to a ball and stuff, so it's all this sort of thing. But I love how Marissa Meyer created this world. Like, she took characters and stuff, but she created this whole world, and she made things connect, and she just elaborated on the whole Cinderella world, and that's what I love. And that's especially what she did with Scarlet. The summary of Scarlet is, because Cinder is a new take on Cinderella, Scarlet is a new take on Red Riding Hood, and it's got all the story elements of the normal story of Red Riding Hood. Like, it's got the Red Riding Hood girl, and she's called Scarlet, and it's got the wolf, and it's got the grandma, and it's got that whole storyline. But Marissa Meyer's really elaborated on that story and made it her own, and I really loved how she did that. I love how I can explain the storyline to this book, because it's not a direct sequel. It's sort of a new character, like a whole new character, and she's elaborated on the character. She's elaborated on the character's story, but still keeping the original character and the original plot of the first book in the story. And she's intertwined both stories, and I just loved how she did that. I really want to go into the spoiler section, because there's so many moments that I want to talk about. And if you haven't read Scarlet, or if you haven't read Cinder, go read Cinder, but especially go read Scarlet, because this is a book review on Scarlet. But if you haven't read Scarlet, stop watching, go read it, and then I can spoil you. For the people who have read Scarlet, stay and we can talk about it together, because I don't think I know anyone else that's finished Scarlet, and I just want to talk about it with people. So yeah. Bye to the people who haven't read it. Now a spoiler section. The first thing that really drew me to Scarlet is the intertwining story. I loved how we started with Scarlet first, and we were introduced to her first because she's such a new character. We didn't know anything about her. We were introduced to her first, and I really liked that part of it. And then I loved how they intertwined, and then they sort of, it's what Cinder ended on, and then the chapter, which I think is chapter 2, that introduces Cinder again. I loved how that's sort of not completely direct, like it's not like complete, like second sentence difference from the last sentence of Cinder to the second chapter of Scarlet. But I do like how it continues on, same plot, same worries, same personality and character basically. But what I loved in Scarlet's story was Wolf, clearly. Even though Scarlet was trying to be like bring herself back and be like, you know, I don't have feelings for Wolf and stuff like that. There was, I don't really want to say it, but there was a lot of sexual tension between them two, and I think anyone reading could easily pick that up. I picked that up very early on, like when she met Wolf, I picked that up. I've got to say, I really like Wolf. Wolf is an attractive character, I have to say. I just love Scarlet and Wolf's relationship. When we came straight into Cinder's story in Scarlet, the first time I reintroduced to Cinder, she meets Thorn, and I really like Thorne's character. I really like how he's flirtatious but he gets like rejected, and it's really, really funny. Emperor Kai or Prince Kai or whatever you like to call him, I really do think he still has feelings for Cinder like we saw in the first book, and I really liked that sort of thing. But there wasn't much of Kai in here, so I wasn't really interested in those parts. I was really interested in the Scarlet parts and the Cinder parts, but especially the Scarlet parts because I really, really liked her as a character, and especially Wolf. I honestly think Wolf's my favourite character in this book. Wolf's and Scarlet's dialogue. The scene on the train where they were getting really close and Scarlet started caressing Wolf, and then they kissed, and then they spent the night together, and then they were hugging, and then they were talking about her grandmother. And it was so beautiful. When Wolf and Scarlet were going to the opera house or wherever the Wolf gang was, and then Scarlet realised that, you know, Wolf was acting different and Wolf was turning her in sort of, and I was like, Wolf, you're a son of a... Then Scarlet realised she was being taken advantage of, and that was really sad. But then they were in the thing, and when he sort of kissed her in a way that it was giving her the ID chip, and I was like, what is he doing right now? I realised that he was giving her the ID chip to escape from her cell, and I thought that was, oh, I just loved Scarlet's and Wolf's parts in this story. It got to a point where I cared for Scarlet and Wolf's relationship so much that whenever anything was about to alter it, or when Scarlet was about to get hurt, or when Wolf was about to die, I was so scared. I was so tensing up for them that at the point where like Cinder was about to get captured, I started to not care, and I started to just care about Scarlet and Wolf's relationship because it was so beautiful. And what part I really want to talk about is sort of the end of the book, where I was getting near the end. I'll get the quote for you. It was so beautiful though. I think I did up with this part. I think it's like the last chapter of Scarlet. They're on the sort of spaceship sort of thing, and they're in the kitchen, and Wolf's eating tomatoes out of like a can, and Scarlet is talking to him. But you're the only one, Scarlet. You'll always be the only one. Which Scarlet replies with, Wolf, are you asking me to be your alpha female? Alpha female, he murmured. I sort of like that. Beaming, Scarlet gave a mild shrug. It could grow on me. I was like, that is the cutest moment ever in a whole book. Like, this whole book was beautiful. I went into it so nonchalant, like, but it was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing. We have to wait till next year. I don't know the exact date. I just know Cress comes out in 2014. I don't know the exact date, but I just want it to come out, and I just want it to be here. And I just... I think we do get introduced to a new character in Cress. Like we've getting introduced to a new character in Cinder, then a new character in Scarlet, and I think Marissa Meyer is going to keep doing that until the last book, which I think is Winter. And I just love this book, but I can't wait until Cress. But I really hope that Cress continues on with Scarlet and Wolf's relationship. Sorry about that, but I just really want to see more of Scarlet and Wolf because it's beautiful, and I didn't want it to end, and it's just, I was happy in the end because they really were happy, and I'm happy for them. And I really hope you go pick it up. Okay, thank you for watching, and I hope you like this video. I hope you go pick up Scarlet and read it, and then we can talk about it down in the comments. And okay, that's all. See ya.